Marvel just released a brand new trailer for Avengers Doomsday, and this one's loaded. New footage straight out of the D23 Hall H panel, a bunch of X-Men back in the mix, and some new faces debuting this weekend too. So we're gonna break the whole thing down, shot by shot. Most of this footage lines up with what got shown at Comic-Con a few months back, just now released publicly in full HD. So thank you, Marvel, for finally letting the rest of us see it properly. Let's get into it from the top. The opening voiceover. The trailer opens on Doctor Doom sitting on his throne, and right away you notice the floor underneath him is covered in glowing runes, magical energy, spell work built right into the ground. Most of these symbols match what we saw at the Comic-Con booth and again this weekend at D23. We don't see them in this particular cut of the trailer, but we already know from the con booth that there are multiple Latverian witches serving Doom, each wearing a different colored variant of his armor and mask. The purple one might be a hidden version of Clea, which would track since Doctor Strange is rumored to be working with Doom in some capacity. There's a brown-coated one that lines up almost too well with Ravonna Ranslayer's look from the Loki series, and the green one that's still a total mystery. Some people think it could be a version of Peggy Carter. My read on this is Marvel setting up a heel turn reveal at some point in the movie. A character you've known this whole time suddenly unmasked as one of Doom's people. Or maybe it's less of a heel turn and more that Doom is holding their hand. Over this, we get voiceover from Sue Storm, and it plays like she's narrating Doom's whole backstory to someone. He was the smartest man in every room. He used to be different, kind, caring, and then everything he loved got taken from him. The room this is happening in doesn't match the Baxter Building's 60s design language at all. It's got a much more lived-in, cluttered look, closer to something you'd find in the X-Mansion. So this scene is probably taking place on the X-Men's world, likely after some kind of confrontation has already happened. We cut to Magneto listening to this, arm in a sling. That injury is almost certainly from a fight with Doom that already went down before this scene. There's a custom Marvel Studios logo reveal here too, with the light behind it styled to look like it's being lit by Doom's own energy. That's a clear sign this trailer wants to be Doom's trailer specifically. His introduction, his story, front and center. The X-Men and the cost of the loss. Channing Tatum's Gambit shows up here, and it's a noticeably more serious take on the character than what we got in Deadpool and Wolverine. Tatum's already said in interviews they were toning him down for this movie. Less comic relief, more weight. We get another shot of Steve Rogers in the now infamous black shirt. Shirt Guy is officially back for Doomsday. Right as Sue's voiceover says everything was taken from him, we cut to a shot that matches a poster Marvel released a while back. Doom with his hand pressed against a broken, cracked image. Given the context, that's very likely his wife and child, and the implication is they died because of an incursion. Later in the trailer, when Doom tells everyone they're living stolen lives and he's taking them back, this is the reason why. He's putting the blame for that incursion on Captain America, and by extension, everyone else whose life got better because of the ripple effects. The castle next to Doom in this section is probably Castle Von Doom in Latveria, which would also be where his throne room is. There's some kind of angel imagery around his wife and child here too. Not entirely clear what that's about yet, so that one's open for debate in the comments. We get a wider group shot next. US Agent, Shuri as Black Panther, Shang-Chi, M'Baku, and Namor standing behind them holding his spear. That confirms Namor is involved in this fight in some capacity. Then Sue says the line that defines the whole trailer. I knew he was lost, I didn't realize he was broken. And that's the exact moment the trailer flips from sympathy to full-blown villain reveal. Doom shows up and starts taking everyone apart. Thor, New York, and the scale of the damage. Quick shot of Thor here with short hair again, sleeveless. As the camera pans down onto Doom from above, keep an eye on the far left background. There's someone else's robe billowing in frame. Almost certainly one of those Latverian witches from the con reveals. Then we get a wider group shot next, what looks like Central Park, except the entire city around it has been leveled. This reads as the aftermath of a major incursion event, and it fits a pattern this trailer keeps hinting at. Doom moving from world to world, tearing things down while he gathers power. The theory a lot of people are landing on is that he's not just destroying things randomly, he's assembling the pieces of his own battle world. This connects to something from the D23 TVA booth too. The set was shown cracked and visibly damaged, which strongly suggests Doom shows up at some point and takes it apart, possibly stripping Loki of his power in the process. That would actually answer a real plot hole people have brought up. If God Loki is that powerful, why doesn't he just stop all of this? Well, he can't if Doom gets to him first. The Loki Connection. There's an early theory floating around based on previous footage, where Loki is shown at home with Peggy Carter holding his TVA card. The idea is this is set right before the end of Loki Season 2, and Loki pulls them into another reality, specifically the Fantastic Four's universe, sometimes called the 828 universe, because staying in the original timeline would trigger a Nexus event and bring the TVA down on him. If that's right, that's the stolen life Doom keeps referencing. Steve Rogers ends up with a wife and a son in a universe that wasn't originally his to have, while Doom loses his own family in that same universe. There's still no clear confirmation of what exactly caused that loss. Nothing in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene on Indeed suggested an incursion at the time, but the pieces line up well enough that it's the leading theory right now. Everyone has something to answer for. One of the bigger twists in this trailer is that Doom doesn't just say Steve is living a stolen life, he says everyone is, which opens up a lot of questions about the rest of the cast. Cassie Lang and Scott Lang show up briefly here, so she's confirmed for the movie. As for what their stolen life might be, one theory ties back to Quantumania, where maybe Scott was originally supposed to be the one lost in the quantum realm instead of Kang, and that swap is part of what caused the ripple. Franklin Richards appears with Johnny Storm too, though it's hard to place exactly where they are in the shot. Could just be lighting washing out a plain background. Franklin's going to matter a lot going forward because of the power cosmic he holds, and Doom is likely after exactly that kind of power to feel whatever he's building. There's a theory that Franklin was originally meant to become the next Galactus, and that his current path is itself a deviation Doom takes issue with. Doom's actual line here, delivered in a much thicker accent that we've heard from him before, is that everyone is living a stolen life, and he's taking them back. That plays directly into the battle world theory. He's not just punishing people, he's reshaping reality to fix what he sees as broken, which lines up closely with Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars comic run. We also get a quick shot of Thor and Love, who he's raising as his adopted daughter, Gore's daughter, resurrected through a deal with eternity. It's easy to see why Doom might have a problem with her existing at all, if his worldview is built around undoing things that shouldn't have happened. Magneto's last stand. Professor X and Magneto both get quick shots here, and Magneto is staring up at glowing green energy in the sky, clearly in serious trouble. There's a real chance this is building toward a sacrifice for his character, and the green glow is either Doom's magic directly or connected to the Sentinels he raises later. Worth noting, this looks like the first time we've ever seen Magneto cry in any X-Men movie. That's not a small detail to put in a trailer, it's a strong signal for how his arc ends. Doom versus the Avengers. We get another version of Steve Rogers looking at his son as Doom repeats the stolen lives line, tying his grudge against Captain America directly back to what we covered earlier. Reed Richards is fully panicking here, asking Doom point blank if he did this. His familiarity with Doom, combined with Sue's earlier narration, is a strong indicator this is the Dr. Doom from the Fantastic Four's own universe, the one who was apparently present when Galactus showed up but never stepped in to help. There's also a second Doom costume shown in this trailer, with smoother, different armor that matches what we saw in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, which backs this up further. Everything is burning around Cyclops in the middle of the fight here, with giant Sentinel feet visible in the background. This is from the wraparound shot where Doom raises the Sentinels and turns them on everyone. Not clear yet whose ship Doom flies in before this fight starts, but it's on X-Men turf either way. Reed loses his composure completely as Thor goes for the head with Stormbreaker, a very deliberate callback to what happened with Thanos, and Doom stops the blow cold using the runes built into his armor. He's someone who blends magic and technology, and there's a strong chance he's picked up extra power from other sources along the way that haven't been revealed yet. Then the exchange that's going to be quoted constantly for the next 3 months. Thor tells him he'll beg for hell long before Doom ever grants it. Doom's response, that hell answers to him because he is Doom, is one of the best single lines in any Marvel trailer to date.
For the comic readers, there's a version of this rivalry in the source material involving Doom and Mephisto over his mother's soul, but nothing in this trailer suggests the movie's going anywhere near that particular thread. The emotional core here is clearly his wife and son, not a deal with Mephisto.
The Sentinels and the full lineup. We get a much more finished CG version of the Sentinel raising scene that leaked earlier this year, with Doom controlling them through the runes and turning them against the entire assembled cast. The camera does a full 360-degree wraparound shot of everyone standing together, clearly built to echo that same circular shot from the very first Avengers movie. Except this time, it's X-Men, Fantastic Four, and the new generation of Avengers all in frame at once. The dried-up fountain next to Doom confirms this is happening on the X-Mansion grounds. Given how many times that mansion has already been destroyed across different X-Men projects, this tracks as just business as usual for the location. Loose ends. A few details worth flagging that the trailer doesn't fully explain. There's a star-shaped emblem on part of Doom's armor that resembles Captain Marvel's symbol, which raises the question of whether he's taken her power somewhere, possibly explaining why she hasn't shown up in any trailer so far. There's also a hammer-shaped detail elsewhere on the armor, and it's not clear if that's connected to Thor specifically or something else entirely. And the TVA booth being shown cracked at D23, paired with a joking "don't worry about it" from Marvel, is exactly the kind of thing that tends to mean the opposite. That's the trailer front to back. If anything, it raises more questions than it answers, which tends to be how Marvel plays these big Avengers trailers on purpose. Let me know in the comments if you caught anything I didn't cover, or if you've got your own read on any of the theories here. Marvel dropped a few other big trailers this weekend too. The full new X-Men cast reveal, a Vision Quest trailer, and Ahsoka Season 2. So those breakdowns are coming next, as fast as I can get them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.